start.
Okay. Christ. There's just a wall of audio from when I cough. Hello, this is Off the Record, a podcast brought to you by the Valdosta Daily Times. I'm Dalton, and this is my co-person Desiree.
Hello.
Today on Off the Record, we're on the record with Chill Parade, who is just a girl and her ukulele and her cell phone, and also she's our copy desk chief. But as of Valentine's Day 2020, this will be her last day. Yeah. And then she won't be here next Monday. Because, why? Tell us, Sarah. Well, introduce yourself as well.
I'm Sarah, Sarah Beth, also known as Chill Parade. And I have taken a new job that entails me moving to Gainesville, Florida. So I won't be in Valdosta anymore, which is a bummer.
Is it?
I mean, I've grown to like it a lot. But, yeah, so I won't be in the office anymore, so this seemed like the most appropriate time to promote my band.
Before you leave us forever.
Yep.
Naturally. Ah, wonderful. Hello.
Oh my gosh.
This is Off the Record. Let me scoot in.
Oh no. You got audio on one side and video on the other.
That's right. I can see the whole process in our one lonely blue mic that we record everything on.
Oh God, you're bad at this.
No. I was just...
He's preparing.
I was just thinking. So, Sarah has been sort of doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes with us for a long time. I shouldn't talk to it that way. I'll just talk this way. She's been doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes for us. Like, she's made advertisements for us. She made the graphic for Off the Record. She's been doing a lot of stuff.
She messaged some of the bands for us.
Yeah. She messaged Jillian Carter for us and helped us come up with questions for Jillian Carter and that sort of thing. So one of the questions you came up for them was ketchup? ?
So
what is your answer to ketchup? ?
Controversial, but I'm going to say ranch.
No ketchup.
No ketchup.
In what instance would ranch be better than ketchup?
Fries, for sure. For sure.
I do like fries with ranch. I will admit.
A mushroom burger.
Okay. What about a regular burger?
It could go either way.
Are you vegan?
I dabble in vegan, but I'm not vegan.
I dabble in vegan. It sounds like a reverse.
It's a phase, Mom.
Okay.
It's a phase.
I was about to say we just had Chick-fil-A. Like, not to call you out, but
no. I mean, I like vegan things. I like the option, but I also really like ranch and dairy. So
fair enough. I'm glad we could just
clear this up.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I know this has nothing at all to do with Chill Parade, but
no, that's
just
fine.
Seemed like it'd be a fair question to propose.
I mean, if I'm gonna ask it, I have to be able to answer it.
That's
so
right. Yeah.
Fair.
And Desiree has known Sarah much longer than I have. So
yes, I'm very upset. It's a dark day here at the Valdosta Daily Times. I did just buy her a Garfield. You just learned that she liked Garfield, but she's a Garfield fan.
Since childhood.
Yeah, no, my favorite Sarah moment is she cried over a Garfield comic in the newsroom.
It was like one of the first... It was within like the first month or two that I worked here, and I laid out the comics page, and it was just a really sweet comic, and it made me cry.
It was Garfield.
And you got to be the one to put it on the page.
It was very sweet. It was something to do with Garfield finding Pookie, and it being like comforting and loving and sweet. And it
was Pookie the dog?
Pookie is his...
Odie's the dog.
Odie's the dog.
I don't know Garfield.
Pookie is his, like, teddy bear.
Yeah.
Oh,
so it was very sweet, and I'm an emotional person.
She is an emotional person. Speaking of emotion, let's go back to your music.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
So how long have you been doing Chill Parade? I know you've been playing as Sarah Beth for a while, but Chill Parade had its first show.
Yeah, within the last year, if not the last 6 months. I can't even remember when it was now. But I played covers for a long time, and like I'm from Iowa, so when I was in college in Iowa, I would play shows with like metal bands there, because
like Korn. I'm kidding.
No.
Oh no, wait, it's not Korn. It's Slipknot. That's from.
Yeah, Slipknot.
Yes.
And you were still playing just like the ukulele?
I was playing guitar actually,
okay.
Which people don't know that I can actually kind of play guitar, but I made the transition to ukulele because it was easier.
Oh.
But yeah, I would just do covers when people asked me to, and then when I moved here, kind of the same thing started happening where I was like, I could do that. But I always went by Sarah Beth just because I was just playing covers. It wasn't anything that was mine. And then once I started actually deciding that I should play the stuff that I was writing, I was like, well, there's too many Sarah Beths in the world to just use my name.
So it's more like algorithm
right, yeah. You can't just, if you search Sarah Beth, like it's
so a wall of
there's too many, which tragic. I found out quickly when I was focusing on like photography stuff and was trying to like brand myself, and it was like, oh my gosh, there's literally thousands.
That is a problem I ran into with the Off the Record. So that's
I now just say Off the Record VDT to be more specific. But tell us how long you had the Instagram handle Chill Parade before you started the band.
Like years.
I know.
So this was just like in your head for a while?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's,
How many songs have you wrote? A lot?
A lot.
And you only have...
I only have like 3 that I've put anywhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
Each one sadder than the last.
This one that's pretty upbeat.
Yeah, it's happy, right? Yeah. About it not working out, but it being okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Chipper. Just straight chipper. Got it.
Yeah. No, so back in like Iowa, I would play this song called The Emo Song. And that was like the only original I played because it was like, I mean, it was based on actual things that happened, but it was stupid and like funny, and so people would laugh at it, and it was like okay because it wasn't taken seriously. So I would play that one, and it was fine. But anything like serious, I was like, I was not ready to put it out there.
That sounds fun. But right, because you were scared of putting your real emotions out there.
Yeah, like I'm not. I cry enough as it is. Like I don't need people to know how much I really actually am sad.
Right.
Well, it's nice that you kind of come out and share your music with the world. And
so who would you say that your sad influences are?
Oh, boys and bands.
Boys and bands.
Yeah. It's been a downfall for many of us.
Many a gal on the street.
Yeah. I mean, I'm marrying one now, but, you know, it's...
A boy in a band.
A boy in a band.
Yeah. They're the worst.
Fair enough.
It's
90% of who we talk to and probably who listens to us.
Right. Well,
you're the worst.
You're the worst.
Now, love you, John. Excited to get married. Hype.
Yeah.
Super hype.
Super hype for that.
Everyone else, though, garbage.
Yeah. No, it's just there's a stereotype that goes with dudes in bands, and some of them hold up, but also like I get caught in my feels. And
not all guys in bands.
No,
you know, it's
not all band men.
Not all band men. Not all, but
men band.
Many of them.
Yeah.
That, well, you know, and not to. I guess we could always cut this out if it's too insulting to them. But, you know, it's very much like some of them think they are rock stars, and so they don't like to really settle in. They're like, haha, I can get anyone. It's like, haha, you're playing a cover at a band, like at a bar. You're not, though.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I think most men are garbage, not just men.
Yeah, all of them.
Sorry. No.
I mean, you're not wrong.
But I think... a lot of people would say the same about women, so it's
some of us also garbage. Like
right, yeah. It's garbage all around. Humans need to learn how to treat each other better.
Me and my girlfriend always joke about how older people, they always joke about how much they hate their spouses. And so...
I do not get that at all.
I don't either.
I do not understand that.
So whenever Mackenzie says something where she's like, do you hate me? I'm like, I hate my wife.
Not you, but I hate my wife.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I just people in general just need to be better to each other.
We're not married.
Yeah. Right. No.
Right. But, yeah,
For anyone
right.
listening, Mackenzie.
And yeah, Mackenzie Dalton doesn't have a secret wife. That's fine. So you grew up though going to shows.
Yeah.
I know you've been to more shows than you can probably count.
Yeah.
What would you say was a show that really left like a big impact on you?
Ooh.
We're not going to say when you cried on Valentine's Day.
Oh gosh, but I did leave an impact. This is gonna sound silly, but here it is. Like the first like show that I actually went to and like saw bands play, I was very much a youth group kid, listening to only Christian music, whatever. And I went and saw the Newsboys.
Yeah, you did.
And they're a very popular Christian band, especially in the late 90s, early 2000s. And I just was like, they're so cool.
Which, just fun filler fact, I took Sarah to then see the Newsboys like 2 years ago.
Yeah, no, it was great.
And they had DC Talk.
Yeah, they had one of the guys from DC Talk, which I just wrote about. We're putting together a list of like songs that shaped our high school years because there's an age gap between all of us.
In our special section called Into the Void. Or no,
Filling the Void.
Filling the Void.
Which, which Sarah and I write a lot of it. Sarah laid it out, and now that's being passed on to Dalton because Sarah's leaving.
Sarah's just decided she does not want to be around us anymore.
Yeah, but on the social media, you can actually find a photo of me and Sarah with the Newsboys in case you ever needed to see that.
But like the first song I ever sang, like in high school, it was a duet. It wasn't a solo. I sang with my best friend at the time, Charity, and we did "What If I Stumble" by DC Talk.
Ooh.
So 14-year-old Sarah. It was first time on stage, and then I got to meet Michael Tate.
Yeah.
And take a picture like 2 years ago.
Yeah, it was great.
Memories.
It was great. If you've never heard Jesus Freak, I recommend you look it up.
It's a good one. It's a good jam.
You know, we talked about this with Mama Stone when they were on, but there's some surprising, like, good songs that are Christian rock songs.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. No, Reliant K is great.
Reliant K like shaped my life from 16 to
like some of them are dumb and like the lyrics are usually pretty much always close to the same.
Yeah.
Well, you know, we had Flyleaf and Under Oath. And,
they were right.
We had some
good stuff.
I went through a phase, very, very deep Christian phase as well, where I listened to Z88.3, which was our local station, and its motto was "Safe for the little ears."
That's cute,
right?
Yeah,
and
nice.
But I don't remember anything of the bands or anything like that.
No, I did youth group.
I do remember. Though, Jars of Clay.
Oh, Jars of Clay.
Yeah.
Jars of Clay I never actually saw, which is weird, because maybe no, I didn't. But like all through high school, I went and saw pretty much any chance I got. I would go see bands, but they were all at that age like Christian. So a lot of Newsboys, a lot of Bleach. Finally saw Reliant K when I was like 18, and it was so good. There's a picture somewhere of me with Matt Thiessen, and I'm wearing a white button-up and a tie because that was the look in 2002. That
was a look.
So how did that how did that bleed into your music and Chill Parade, or like the way you write songs?
Well, so I started playing because I was heavily involved in church, and so I was part of the worship team, and slowly they needed like a backup leader person. So that's how I got into actually playing guitar. And so for the most part, I was playing sad, emotional songs about loving Jesus. Right? Like that's what it really comes down to.
Why were they sad?
Well, because like open the eyes of my heart, right? And most of like slower tempo was easier to play because I wasn't very good.
So like sad sounding, but not maybe actually
Right, yeah.
sad.
Yeah, shout out Jesus. We're still here for you, buddy.
Yeah, so that's what I was playing for the most part, and then listening to that a lot, and Christian bands opened the door to playing with other people who ended up being in Christian bands that were cool, but like I couldn't play Christian metalcore because I wasn't that good.
Yeah.
So I kind of just stuck into the wheelhouse of G, D, E minor, C, chord progressions, and singing whatever was on my heart, which as a late teen was typically heartbreak. Boys.
Yeah, okay.
Transition from Jesus.
I mean, that's,
Yeah.
I think that's so cool though,
Yeah.
because like a lot of people need that sort of creative outlet and that sort of
Yeah.
thing. Like I know that's a cliche thing, creative outlet, but
Yeah,
I mean, you know, that's a lot of emotional. That's an emotional time in people's lives.
Yeah, and I was very heavily involved in the church, and then when I wasn't as heavily involved in the church, there was that like gap of, well, I was playing all of the time, and now I'm not playing all of the time, and what am I going to do with this now? Which ended up evolving into me writing stuff, but not playing it for people.
So now you're sort of trying to take those steps to start
Because
playing for people.
it just got to the point where I was like, I shouldn't care what other people think. And like, obviously, if I'm feeling something, like maybe someone else has, but even if they haven't, I need to deal with it. So that's how I'll just handle those things, is putting it out there.
Yeah, I think that confidence is inspiring, and I think that's something that also bleeds through your live performances. It's just people are like, man, I want to be, I think I could do this too. I want to be like Sarah. I want to go out there and play.
Well, and that was kind of my thing, is like, I got so annoyed with myself for not doing it that I was like, if I can show someone else that like it's fine to put yourself out there, regardless of how you have to do it. Like, I get so scared, and like stage fright is so real that I basically black out and can't remember the words that I've written. So I have to, like, I have my iPad that I always set up and attach as like a safety blanket to make sure, like, A, I don't screw up as much. I still screw up all the time, but the words are right in front of me. Even though they're my words, I probably wouldn't remember them in front of people, and I just take the steps that I need to take to make sure that I can do it. And I feel like if people want to do that, they should. And I took too long to convince myself that I could.
But you're playing shows at like all the live venues that all the bands in town are playing at. Like,
Yeah.
You played at the DIY House. You played at Ashley Street Station too. Where else have you played?
I played at William Street. I played at
the old DIY House.
Yeah, the old DIY House.
Yeah.
I have played at Christy and Jeff's house.
Okay. Yeah. Christy and Jeff. Hello. Go ahead.
And like back home before I moved here, I was playing. We had a community center that was in Jefferson, South Dakota. I grew up in Iowa, but it was like very close to South Dakota and Nebraska. So when we were living in like Sioux City, we would travel about 30 minutes to South Dakota and play at this community center, and played with ridiculous bands. Like, I played with Bradley Hathaway, which is like a Christian slam poet from back in the day, which at the time...
Slam poetry back then?
Yeah.
Oh.
Which at the time...
It was a new phenomenon. Okay.
Oh, no. This guy has books, and like, I thought he was so cool, and I threw up because I was so nervous.
Oh.
But like, there was another time where a band was running late, and someone just happened to have a guitar, and they were like, can you just play some stuff real quick? And I was like, sure. And that's how I played before Chiodos. Like, so many...
You have to put a pin in that. Do you know who that is?
No. Honestly, I don't.
Oh my god.
That's exciting for me.
That's exciting for you. But like,
I was just trying to go along with it.
That's fine.
No, I'm always here to call Dalton out. Sorry.
Like, there was
Who was Chiodos?
There's
Before we move on, because there might be other people that don't know.
They were just
Could
like
not
a
be the
really
only dumb
big
one.
scene
They were a scene phenomenon.
Yeah.
Like, if you grew up in the scene era, you knew who
So
they
if
were.
you were on
by scene, do you mean
MySpace-
like punk type music,
No,
or was it like
like,
pop punk or emo? Was it
hardcore?
okay?
Kind of.
It's
Okay,
louder
post-hardcore.
than like pop punk.
He has a very distinctive voice.
Was there like screaming involved?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But so where I grew up was kind of the Midwest is spread apart, so it wasn't weird for me to have to drive 7 hours to see a band. I don't drive, but I would ride with people like to Minneapolis, Omaha, Kansas City, and go see bands everywhere. But where I was at was kind of like this weird middle spot, and we had a band that was pretty popular within the Christian realm who ended up like booking a lot of bands to come through. And so it was just a weird place, like this rundown community center in this town of like maybe 300, and these bands would just stop by and be like, all right, I guess we're playing here. And it led to me playing covers and just like filling time. But
it seems like I don't know if this is true or not, but coming from Georgia and Florida, it seems like there's more bands in like the punk realm of things, or even in the rock, like traditional rock and roll and stuff. There's more touring going on in the north and through the Midwest to get to the West.
Yeah.
Is that
like
true?
you have to go through, like if you're driving from New York, like you have to go through Iowa. Like
if you wanted to go to like LA.
Yeah, if you're trying to make your way out from either California out to the East Coast or vice versa.
But it seems like nobody takes the time to come down south for whatever reason. Or
Nobody likes Florida.
There's so many bands in Florida though now.
Yeah,
there are a lot of
that
bands
is a thing
in Florida,
now.
yeah.
And I think it has been in the past too.
Yeah, but
it's like
a lot of tours will skip Florida if they can.
Yeah,
a lot of cool New York bands
yeah.
just don't go into Florida.
Yeah.
Is part of the issue.
It just seems like it's so far out of the way if you're trying to go to the other coast,
I always wondered if it was just because they didn't think there was a market for them here or something. Do you think there's just more of like a market for that kind of music up north?
I don't know. I think it might just be a logistics thing.
Yeah.
In terms of if we're already on the north end of things, like
that seems
we're just
like
going to cut across.
Reason.
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially if you're trying to hit Chicago and Denver, you're gonna go through this
Iowa.
like dead zone.
Yeah.
And
so if you want to see live music, Iowa's the hot spot.
I mean, I wouldn't say
Not
that,
bad.
but I would say like you'd be surprised at who stops there just because they have to. Like, there's no way around it.
We've learned a lot about Iowa in Sarah's time here because
It's true.
I didn't know much about Iowa. Just forgot it was a state most of the time.
Most people do.
I kept saying Idaho a lot.
Yeah, people think I'm from Idaho or Ohio, and I'm just like,
Now, Iowa is a
Neither of those
real
are close.
place.
There was a French guy that just did something, I don't know, but it was just like a map of the United States, and he was trying to name all the states. And he put down Iowa like 7 times.
7 times.
And then
But
he put Idaho on Iowa. It's just like,
I think he had like Minnesota listed as Arizona. I was like, that's not
it's not,
Not
even
even
close,
close.
dude. You're not even trying.
not even trying. You know that's
Yeah.
close to Canada.
But that's how I learned that Slipknot,
Yeah.
Iowa, not corn,
No.
which I felt like should be because corn is a big staple of Iowa. But no,
That's true.
band corn, not from Iowa.
Oh,
True.
did not know that.
Facts.
Slipknot
I knew
from
Slipknot
Iowa.
was, though.
Slipknot. I'm trying to think of other Iowa bands, and now I can't. Other than For Today, which was Christian metalcore at its finest. Love those guys.
Shout out.
Cute.
Shout out. X David X. Which is actually, he was the one who got me into like the hardcore scene. When I was in school in Sioux City, he lived across the street from me, and he was like this 16-year-old scene kid who was mowing his lawn and screaming at the same time. And I was like,
his earbuds in.
yeah. And it was Under Oath, They're Only Chasing Safety had just come out. And that's what he was listening to. And yeah. I was like, what is going on? And he saw me like looking from my apartment being like, what? And he was just like, hey.
That's so strange, like, because it's like Christian parents, the old stereotype is like they don't want their kids to listen to like heavy music
Right.
and that sort of thing, but it's like, when heavy music started becoming Christian, it wasn't so much of a problem, but that almost became like a gateway quotation marks drug to
other bands. Yeah. No, his parents were cool, but they would like definitely check out the lyrics of everything he was listening to, and he burned me so many CDs of like, you need to listen to Beloved, and you need to listen to Old Under Oath, and you need to listen to...
So parents would check his songs and stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Well, because his dad was the pastor of the church that they lived next to. And then he would practice drumming in the church. And then the band would practice in the church. And like...
So, like, if the band wrote a song...
Oh, yeah.
That's so weird. I mean, that makes sense, but I just can't imagine that. Like, you have to, like, okay, Dad, here's my song for you to peer review. You know?
If there was anything that was, like, amiss, he would have been out of that band. Even though he started it, his parents would have pulled the plug, for sure.
But back to Chill Parade.
Back to Chill Parade.
Yeah, no, we barely touched on Chill Parade. Well, I guess, though, so what's your game plan now? Because you're going to be in Gainesville, so you've only ever played Valdosta.
It's true. As Chill Parade, I've only ever played Valdosta. Well, the plan was I was going to record with Alan, who runs the DIY house here, and this job thing happened. So I've been kind of frantic for the last couple of months.
Did we mention where you were going to work?
No.
I don't think we did. Do you want to mention that?
I mean, we can.
We should go ahead. I think that's cool.
Didn't I say it on something else? I feel like I've said it lately. On Facebook Live. We said it.
I'm going to be working at the editing center for the New York Times.
The New York Times?
Yeah, just has a center.
One of the,
which
arguably the largest newspaper in America.
Yeah, and I did not know they had an editing center in Gainesville, Florida. So just heads up, everyone. There's an editing center for the New York Times in Gainesville, Florida.
It's true. It's been there for like 10 years, I guess now, is what they said. And I've basically be doing a lot of the same stuff I've been doing here, but just for the New York Times, which is cool.
It's a cool upgrade.
Yeah.
We're really excited for you.
Yeah.
We are.
I'm pumped.
Well, now.
So you are going to be trying to play shows while you're down there?
Probably. So I'm moving into a house with two guys who are in a lot of bands in Gainesville, but one of them is also, he's a machinist who started here. That's how I know him. They happen to have a roommate move out, so I'm moving in there, and he like does booking and promoting around Gainesville. So you're
gonna be like, hey, nudge, nudge,
nudge, nudge.
Give it
I told him if I wasn't in like 3 bands by the end of the first month that I lived there, I was out. I'm joking, but yeah, no, he's already in like 5 bands and then does all this booking and promoting, and he was like, I know that he's trying to book some stuff for the summer, and I assume that at some point he'll be like, does Chill Parade want to do something? And I'll jump at it, but I also don't want to be like, hey Jeremy, throw me on a show. But
yeah, I mean, you should though.
Yeah, I mean, if the lineup is good, or like works. I've played so many shows with bands that
wouldn't hurt to ask.
It doesn't make sense, that it'd be nice to play some shows where it does make sense.
I think it's funny when it doesn't make sense. It's so funny to transition from like an acoustic ukulele set to screaming and just hardcore
which
metal.
Which is like 98% of the shows I've played has been that. Which is, I mean, it's cool, but it'd be nice to like, I don't know, have a lineup where you can understand what everyone's saying. And I mean, I like the other music, but
it's sort of adjacent. Like, I mean, emo is kind of adjacent to like, it's sort of the same like scene culture, I guess.
Yeah.
But your album cover, it's a girl smelling a flower, which is so like innocent and sort of it's a happy image. It's you, okay?
Yeah, it's a photo from my childhood, and I just traced it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's me.
So why did you choose that for your...
I think because it is such a innocent, sweet little thing. And I kind of see the songs that I write, and this is cheesy, but like, they're just my little babies, you know? And I'm very protective of them and nervous to put them out in the world, but you just got to do it. So it just seemed appropriate. I was like, yeah, that'll work.
I remember seeing photos of myself when I was a kid, and I wouldn't remember like that moment in my life.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Did you remember it at all? No, but
not
like I
a chance.
remember the memories of me looking at that photo though, and
Yeah.
then those because that photo exists, it becomes more like important to me. Like, and then I can put myself in that position. Like I was reliving the moment, even though I don't remember it all. Like I remember there's a picture of me walking through the snow because I was born in Colorado and I was a little baby walking through the snow, and there was Rottweilers behind me. So like big old dogs,
dogs.
Yeah, and
what did your parents do to you? Like, let's toss them out in the snow with some Rottweilers. Take a photo.
That's
real
just
quick.
grown up.
I was
in the
just
Midwest.
following my mom because we were going outside and we had horses. That's a whole other thing. So she was gonna go feed the horses. But anyway, I don't remember the snow at all. But because I've seen that picture so many times, I just imagine a little me like walking through like what would have been like half my body's worth of snow with dogs around me, and like I can see that first person, even though it's. Do you kind of get that?
There is a photo, and I wish I could find it because there are some classic baby Sarah photos. One of which I've made into a button, which is me just sitting on a gravestone. Because when you're tired and want to sit down, sometimes you just got to do it, even if it is your great uncle's grave. And it's cute. So I made buttons with that. But one of my first memories, like growing up, I remember trying to chase my brother, who was 7 years older than me. And I know that I like looked down and I was wearing a yellow jacket, and there's a picture of me chasing my brother, and I don't know if I remember it because of the photo or if it just is actually one of my first memories.
Okay.
So I get what you're saying.
I'm glad that's not just me.
No.
Because like I feel like if I would have had that connection to a photo like me blowing on a flower, I would have maybe like forced myself to imagine little Dalton sniffing the flowers.
No, I definitely was a little too young, I think, to actually remember.
I just swear to my own show. I'm so bad.
We tell people not to do that, Dalton.
I know.
It's in the beginning.
I'm just so comfortable with Sarah.
This is a very different episode because we talk to Sarah on a pretty regular basis, so
it's true.
I feel like I already know most of this, but it's nice to go over it again. It's nice to revisit.
I'm glad we covered my thoughts on ketchup.
Yeah, no, that was important. What other important questions did you have for Sarah?
What are you getting on Bandcamp?
Oh,
come on.
When I first put up songs, the only place you can hear any Chill Parade right now is on SoundCloud. But when I first put them up, for some reason I could not think of Bandcamp. It like totally escaped me. I was like, what is that site that all the bands use? And I couldn't think of it. And I was like, I'll just throw them on SoundCloud because I wanted someone to listen to them. But I wanted to record some actual recordings and then put them on Bandcamp. But yeah, the SoundCloud stuff was just recorded on my cell phone, and I just threw it up in like...
It sounds pretty good to be recorded just on your cell phone.
Yeah, it's just on my cell phone in my living room, and it doesn't sound terrible. There's definitely some tempo issues, because I'm very impulsive when I make decisions, like moving from Iowa to Georgia was pretty impulsive. Deciding to try to get this job at the New York Times was pretty impulsive. Recording music and putting it online so whoever wanted to listen to it was also pretty impulsive.
I mean, you literally just grabbed your phone and it was...
I literally was like, let's do this. Recorded
playing songs today.
3 songs, split them up on my phone, posted them online, sent them to people that knew what they were about, and was like, here you go.
I think that's super cool, though.
Yeah.
That, again, that you're just putting yourself out there and that sort of thing.
Yeah. It's been a few years in the making, for sure.
So, did you have any other questions, Desiree?
I mean, I don't know. I already know everything.
Oh, hold on. The name. Where did the name Chill Parade come from?
So I have a habit of trying to think of band names on a regular basis.
As you do.
And anytime I hear something in a conversation, I go, That's my band name. But Chill Parade, for some reason, I don't even remember who I was talking with, but I, in my head, was thinking about, like, just a band of, like, 3 people walking down a street and someone sitting, just one person in a lawn chair watching them walk by. I was like, it's a pretty chill parade. Like, nothing crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a chill parade.
Yeah.
And
was it like a Christmas parade or a homecoming parade?
I think it was probably, actually, I do think it was after the Christmas parade that I covered for the paper a few years ago. I was like, it was pretty chill. Like, it wasn't any, like, there was a few floats, few trips.
You know,
that was it.
Just a little something, something.
Just a little something. Just chill.
And that just stuck with you.
And it just stuck. There are some other band names that definitely, I think, are good band names, but aren't appropriate for a girl on a ukulele. Like, I was talking with Jeremy, actually, once, and I was like, we should start a metal band. It's called Virgin Mouth. Like,
oh
what?
My gosh.
I don't remember what it was a reference to, but also that wouldn't work for what I do at all.
Absolutely.
I would be
not
very
even
uncomfortable
once.
with that.
Yeah.
Unless it was like ironic.
Yeah.
Like there's Power Bottom. That was
right.
Pretty fun. They had a whole situation too.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah. But yeah. Chill Parade seemed the most appropriate for what I did. Like, or what I do with ukulele and just me.
That makes sense. So the guy you're rooming with, Jeremy, he's in Machinists, but he's also in a band called Sports Reference.
Right.
And supposedly, the rumor, anyway, that I'm pretty sure you started, is that you came up with their name, Sports Reference.
Yes.
Tell us, what that name is and, like, why it has meaning. And 2, is that true?
Well, I feel like we should flip those. Is that true?
Okay.
I think so.
That's a lie about how it came to be.
I'm 90% positive that it's true. But I think, here's what I think happened. Jeremy has a best friend named Jesse who dates my good friend Jamie. So I think I was hanging out at Jamie's house and Jesse was there and we were talking about band names. And there's a lot of band names that reference sports, like modern baseball, American football, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, free throw. And so I was like, we're going to start a band, and we're going to call it Sports Reference. And Jesse was like, yeah. Well, Jesse is friends with Jeremy. I'm sure Jesse told Jeremy. And then when they started that band, Jeremy was like, I got this cool band name. It's Sports Reference.
Does Jeremy know he took it from you?
He says that he didn't. But I think that's what happened.
Shout out Sports Reference. We need to know the truth.
That's how I remember it.
It would be interesting if you got into a court case with your new roommate.
Ooh. Take it to court.
I mean, they could have it. It's fine. I'm over it now.
What if they blow up? You need some kind of royalties on it.
If they blow up, then maybe, right?
Yeah. Like, hey, guys. Remember that time I named you?
And then
you'll
reference this podcast and be like, see, I told them.
Yeah.
This is my evidence.
Yeah.
I think that's what happened. I know that at some point I was like, Sports Reference, yes. I don't really care. It's funny. But it really took a turn when I mentioned that at the show that I played with them at the DOS. And it turned into a thing. And I was just like, but yeah. I've said ever since they started a band like that I was annoyed. And I'm not, but I should have been in that band. That's all I'm saying.
Well, now you can make it happen because, like,
maybe I can do a guest spot or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be like, this is the person that named my band.
Yeah.
She's gonna play with us.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't think a uke would fit. I mean, I could play
They
guitar.
do have, like, electric ukuleles that are, like, more...
Yeah. Like, mine plugs in, but it doesn't sound good.
Yeah.
I'm really apologetic to anyone who's listened to me because the ukulele.
I think it sounds good.
It's so tinny.
What is it?
There's no low end on that thing.
Tin.
Yeah.
Not tinny. But, oh God, what is it? The Sonderbombs.
Yeah.
The girl, I forget her name, But the girl that fronts that band, she has ukulele.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like her thing. She's got a whole song.
It's cool.
But she, she's got this like sick electric, and it looks like an electric guitar, but just tiny.
Yeah.
And she's just strumming away.
I'm super like, that's kind of like, when I started Chill Parade, I was like, maybe someday I could be full band. I don't know what that would sound like. And then I heard Sonderbombs, and I was like, that's totally what that would have sounded like. No. But like, I'm super stoked that they exist, and like, I want to see them so bad. They're so cool.
They really are.
Yeah, they're killing it right now.
They're doing great. Uke Ain't Enough. Look up that song by the Sonderbombs.
It's good.
Uke as in UKE, like ukulele.
Ukulele, as they say in Hawaii, I think.
That feels made up.
I might have made that up.
I have no idea. What was the name of the guy that did Over the Rainbow?
Oh.
I don't know. He was also a ukulele dude from Hawaii.
Guy, yeah.
Famous.
That guy.
Yeah.
Shout out ukulele guy from Hawaii.
I can't remember.
Was he
his
from
name.
Hawaii?
Yeah, he was from Hawaii.
Yeah.
Big time. That was his
big time.
Yeah, I'm not. He a lot of his music was supposed to be about like the native population there and how they didn't want to be a part of the United States.
Fair enough.
Fair enough, for sure.
He died in the 90s.
Yeah. Gosh, I cannot remember his name. But, yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember his name. I think it was something long. But that's okay.
If you could build your dream band, of any band members from everywhere, any band, dead or alive, who would you pull to play in your ukulele singing female fronted band? Who's backing you?
Oh gosh, that's hard because
I don't know if I could do that, honestly.
Yeah, like
you don't have to have exact names. You can just say like, oh, the bassist from whatever or something.
Oh yeah, no, I never know their names. But.
I feel like this is I feel like I have so many cool musician friends that I wouldn't pull from like
any mega bands.
Like sure, there's like. I mean, I love Slash, but
you can pull Slash in. Bring Slash. Get Slash in.
I don't think I would want to.
Him and his hat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could take his hat.
Slash's hat.
I would.
Or you could just have Slash's hat, and that would be good.
Oh, well, that's
the magic, really.
It'd be Friends and Slash's hat.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Is that a band name?
Slash's hat. It is now.
We're trademarking it. You can take it. Slash's hat.
Yeah. That's tough.
Yeah.
I feel like, so I'll throw in a few names just because I feel like I have to. But like, when Machinist started, they had a girl, Ashley Scanlon, and she like played guitar and killed it. And she hasn't played in a while, but she needs to. So I pull Ashley Scanlon.
Come on, Ashley.
Yeah, come on. She's like busy saving lives being a nurse or something. So I get it. It's cool.
Save lives with your music.
Yeah. I feel like any / all members of Zeta would be a great addition to any band.
/ all of the members.
Yeah.
Okay.
So just
past,
she's just
present.
going to
Because they're basically Grateful Dead. They just rotating new people all the time.
All the time. There's somebody else that's in it, but they're cool.
So that's like 12 people.
Yeah.
Ale from Las Nubes.
Shout out in a previous episode.
Yeah,
Go listen to it.
Ale Campos,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. She was on our 3rd episode?
I believe so.
I think so.
Scroll back on the Spotify list, guys. You can find it.
Las Nubes.
She's just super cool. One of my favorite guitarists is actually a guy that I know from back home who was in For Today. So like Ryan LaTrue, throw him in there. He's cool. If you listen to Christian metal. If you don't listen to Christian metal, he's still very talented. and maybe just throw in like so the first artist that I listened to when I was in high school that I was like, I should buy a guitar, was a Christian artist by the name of Jennifer Knapp. And she sang like sort of more like God, what is that? Like Meredith Brooks / Melissa Etheridge type stuff, but in a Christian way, so that I listened to it in high school. And she was really cool. And then she was signed on the same label as a little known artist at the time called Katie Hudson.
Katy Perry, shout out.
Who turned out to be Katy Perry. But like both of them, when they were doing that sound, like the acoustic sound, I think would be a cool thing. Jennifer Knapp is still doing music and killing it. And
so is Katy Perry, just on a different level. Yeah.
Just
what an eclectic mix of people. I guess that's why you said it'd be so hard to make that work.
Yeah, there's no
you could just
way to
pull on
work.
different members for different songs.
It's a mega band. It's fun.
Yeah.
We're here for it.
I am so all over the place that I think that it makes it difficult for me to do anything but just me and a ukulele. Because I need the simplest form of everything, because I don't know how to make everything else that I listen to work.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, if you have band members, then they sort of help figure that out. Everybody's got to take care of their own instrument and then figure out a way to work together. I mean, I guess that's how bands work,
I think
right?
that's how bands work. I don't know. I'm just making stuff up as I go, and it's just me, so.
I think you should go for it. Shoot for the
We
stars.
support you forming a band.
Call up all those people.
Hey, you
We're doing
know,
this.
I know you're touring with the thing that you actually do, but do you
You
want
can
to?
make time for me.
If
Be great.
you want to sing sad songs about not dating, cool.
God, that's all I've ever wanted, honestly. Is to sing sad songs about anything, really.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, sure. I'll make some phone calls.
Yeah, get
Cool.
on it.
Done.
Done.
Maybe we could like trade favors. Be like, I'll get you in the New York Times.
I don't know that I can do that. I'm pretty sure I can't do that.
They don't have to know that.
I'm 100% positive I can't do that.
Well, I guess we've been talking for a while.
Yeah, we have work to do.
Yeah.
Shout out podcast. We are the 3 people working today. So
We're just in here
So
talking.
yeah, we took a solid almost 15 minutes away from our
Actual job on my last day here.
work. Well, yeah, technically Dalton and I are still working. Sarah is just being our guest.
She's got some stuff to do.
Yeah, no, she has real work to do out there. I'm just saying, in here,
Right,
Dalton and I
right.
are working. Sarah is our guest.
That's right.
True,
Yeah. You're off the clock right now. I'm just kidding.
It's fine. So we will miss Sarah greatly, but I'm still gonna go see her. Dalton probably won't, because
I'm in
that's just
Gainesville.
how-
I go to Gainesville all the time.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean you'll
You
see
see the height in my
Fest.
voice? That means I go.
Fests.
He fests.
Fests.
I went there. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
I'm just going to see
Oh,
the bats.
Bats are cool.
Yeah, we're going to go see the bats.
It'll never come to me now. It's
Ooh.
fine.
We don't know what you
I don't
had
know.
going on.
There was some chemical spill in Valdosta or something way back when, or like a house. It was just in a house, and that's the name of this band. It was the chemical that was,
What?
and they're from Gainesville, and I forget.
Oh,
what it was.
okay. I don't know.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But I
yeah.
went and saw them. But it doesn't matter. Anyway,
Cut all that out.
yeah, it does not matter. But yeah, I'll go see her. Thank you.
But I'm sure Sarah will return to Valdosta from time to time.
Yeah,
She's,
for sure.
You know, she's
I've been
got
here
to
As a
at some
touring
point.
band being the emphasis.
Yeah, sure. I've lived here 10 years. I got roots now. I got to come back.
Yeah, it's where we are.
Yeah, 10 years.
And
It's crazy.
yeah, no, I've lived here that amount of time, and it is
Yeah.
it
That's a long
messes
time.
you up. Yeah, no, it messes up your life.
Yeah, I did not expect to be in Valdosta for 10 years.
Oh my gosh, me either. I had that discussion with someone, and I was like, but then you accidentally like start a
Yeah.
life, and you're like, oh gosh, I can't just leave this life, but I will in the next few years, but not leave the life. The life's coming with me. John, you're coming with me. I'm sorry.
Valdosta's what you make it, right?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
your
yeah.
shirt, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Valdosta is what you make it, and I still stand by that. And I made shirts that say that, and this is me saying this out loud so that it's on record. I give permission to Alan. If he wants that design, it's at Arrow. He works there. He can print those shirts if he wants. I don't care.
Yeah. Well, we've discussed this before, I think, on previous episodes, that a lot of people do knock Valdosta and things.
Yeah.
And it's not really fair, because I'm from a smaller town than this. So this was a step up for me. But I do think that you can find stuff to do. You have to really make it your own. I mean,
and I think that's at anywhere you go.
Yeah.
Because I've lived in a town that was about 200 people, and people knocked it. And I'm like, it's a cute little town. Like, what's not to love about, like, country in Iowa? I mean, it wasn't for me, but whatever. Like, it is what it is. I've also lived in cities bigger than Valdosta, and people there were like, I gotta get out of this place. And there was so much to do. And there's always going to be people that feel like life is going to be better somewhere else, but they're just terrible people that are very negative about their circumstances or whatever they're going through. And you can't just look at the negatives and focus on that being the only thing. And sure, Valdosta has some hangups that aren't great. There isn't as many things to do as other places, but there's plenty to do here. And there's plenty of cool things happening.
Yeah.
And it's easy to be like, ugh, I'm so much better than this, but you're not.
I think that's something when we set out to do this podcast, and we haven't mentioned this in a long time, but when we set out to do this,
back around.
Yeah, we really wanted to sort of emphasize that, hey, there's music here in Valdosta, and it's good. There's good live music, and you can go see it regularly.
Yeah, and not everyone has to leave. We do interview a lot of bands who are like, of course I want to get out, but I've met plenty of people who've gotten out and then came right on back because they were like, oh, all right, that wasn't as great as I thought it was going to be out there. Like,
and I've only been here 10 years, but across those 10 years, there have been plenty of people that grew up here that were like, I'm moving to Atlanta because blah, and within a year, I've seen them back in Valdosta. And, like, it's fine, but don't make a big deal of going somewhere else and then realizing, oh, I didn't make it work there either. Mm-hmm. And just, I don't know. There's
every place is going to have its problems.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't just look at, like, I don't know, the positives of, like, I love Gainesville, and I'm moving there, and I'm very excited about it. But I'm sure when I get there, like, it's gonna be the place I live. It won't be the place that I go to see shows, and it's gonna be work.
Won't be that idealized fantasy escape
it's like when you meet a famous person and then they're a jerk, and you're like, oh, why did I do this?
Don't meet your heroes. Don't move where you vacation. those are my
rules of life.
Yeah.
Those are pretty fair. Which, again, I think Valdosta is in a great location for traveling to other places.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't like it here, just be gone on the weekends. It's fine, guys.
Yeah.
We're not judging you for that.
But
Go out of town.
There's people everywhere that I have lived that have complained about where they live, and you can't just complain about it. If you do think so poorly of a place, do something. Yeah. Like, make something happen. That's on you.
Yeah, when I start my pop punk band, that's all we're going to sing about is actually not how badly we want to leave this place, but just how we like taking naps here and hanging out.
Yeah.
The opposite.
That's just my 2 cents.
Welcome to Sarah's 2 cents.
Okay, so Chill Parade.
Yes.
Where can we find your music?
Currently only on SoundCloud. I'm pretty sure I'm the only band on there named Chill Parade. I could be wrong, but
she does have social media.
I'm on Instagram. I need to post more often, but hopefully recording soon, and then I'll be on Bandcamp.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, we'll see.
So,
all right. Well, this was our farewell to Sarah. Yeah.
Very
I know.
I'm very
special
sad.
episode.
We're waiting a few hours, and then she's gonna start crying as she leaves. So
We were kind of
that's-
hoping she would cry like on the.
Yeah, what
on
can we
the
do to make you
episode.
cry?
Come on.
I don't want to think about it.
It's,
Last night I was packing and my roommate Nikki was helping me take apart my bed and she did most of it because I am useless when it comes to tools. And I was standing there holding a flashlight so she could figure out how it came apart. And I looked out in the hall and Maisie, the dog, was just staring at me, and I started crying because I was like, "Oh!"
Oh, right. She does have to visit because the dog is here.
Yeah.
I forgot about Maisie. Oh no!
Storage is full.
Storage is full.
What a bummer.
The iPad video just went out. That's why we all. And it's because the video is completely full. And, it's
And
'cause we've been
talking about
talking
Maisie made me cry, so there we go.
Aww.
Yep.
I thought you were crying because the memory on the iPad.
Oh
went
no!
out.
I hope
So bummed.
that video is gone forever.
Not in the newsroom.
Well, alrighty. So this has been Chill Parade on Off the Record.
Yay! Bye.
Have a good one. Oh, I've been meaning to plug this. Okay. People have been saying they've been having a problem finding our stuff. It's on Spotify. We're trying to get on other places. It's also on the Valdosta Daily Times website. If you search Off the Record, search it probably on Google. Do Off the Record Valdosta Daily Times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't search it on our website. Also, go to YouTube. You can find it there too, but you have to type in Off the Record VDT, like the letters VDT. And you have to make it all one word, no spaces between the letter. I know it's a pain. I'm sorry, but that's how you can find it. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I genuinely think we should just start saying Off the Record VDT.
Yeah.
But yeah, we are there. You can find us. We also we may make separate social media so that you guys can keep up and we can post links. So.
I do that. Guys.
So, bear with us as we figure this out.
Yes.
And, yeah, so, goodbye forever.
Bye.
Chill Parade.
Oh no!
Bye forever.
It's not forever.
Okay, bye for,
No.
hopefully not forever.
There we go.
Okay.
I'm gonna go cry.
Touching.
Okay. Go cry.
You swallow me up and spit me back out. Never let me in again. Empty without the voices to carry your melodies. Empty